My name is Jamie Cragg. I'm the aquarium curator here at the Horniman Museum. After university I went to the Philippines to do some reef research out there. I then worked at London Aquarium for about 5 years. I then worked as an underwater cameraman in Borneo, and then came here after that. I mean, this is fantastic working in aquariums. We get a lot of variety, working with tropical animals like we have here, all the way through to native freshwater species that we find in British ponds and that sort of thing.
What are your favourite fish and creatures in here?
I specialise in corals. Corals fascinate me, the relationship that the fish have with corals, and also its importance as an animal that builds a structure of the coral reef.
Which fish are the most popular, and why do you think they're most popular?
The seahorses are very, very popular. They're an amazing animal, very quirky. They can change colour, they can rotate their eyes independently, and funnily enough, the male gives birth, so I think they're a bit of a hit with the girls as well because of that. Some of the people that work here are very keen sea fishermen, so we recently had dogfish come in as embryos inside an egg, and they've been fascinated watching them develop, because obviously they're some of the species that they possibly would be catching when they go out. Of course, fishermen can come in and see British ponds, so carp and things like that they'd be catching in ponds and lakes. I think the majority of people go with the bright colours of the tropical marine fish we have behind us, and the tropical freshwater fish in the Ewok Krama, the Guyana and rainforest section. But there are still some amazing animals in the native, both freshwater and marine, so sea fish. We've got interesting pipefish, there's large prawns, we've got the lobster, it's a female that's carrying eggs at the moment, and that's, since she's been here, she's certainly sparked a lot of interest.
So you've got some very odd creatures here.
We've got four-eyed fish, which are anableps from the Caribbean. They float right at the water's surface, and their eye is actually split in half, or the pupil of their eye is split in half, and that enables them to see below the water for the food they want, but also see above the water because they don't want a bird to eat them. The things to focus on in the aquariums are again, focus on some of the small details. And there's a lot of animals in each aquarium that unless you look really hard, you'll miss. Everything from, as you come in, the parlour tank, which is a Victorian style tank, there's some very small sand gobies in there, which are exactly the same colour as the sand. And there's about 30 in there, but you rarely see them until they move, so look out for those. Then in the rock pool section and the British seashore section, loads of different types of anemones and mussels, oysters, so a lot of small shrimp and prawns, things like that, so look out for those. In the coral reef section, there's tons of animals. Things are a bit cryptic sometimes. Sometimes things aren't quite as obvious as some of the brightly coloured fish, so look for small detail. Another thing of interest is we've redeveloped all of the signage throughout the aquarium, and just have a look at that. That tells you a little bit of information about each animal that is in the display. And what we've linked in with that as well is we've developed a want to learn more label. So if you want to learn more about the animals that are in each of the sections, there's a little link to each of the conservation organisations we're working with that relates to that section. And there's details there of their website. If you want to get involved in volunteering, there's certain beach cleans, there's stuff that you can do within London. It doesn't have to be going across the world and working on a coral reef. There's a lot going on our doorstep.
What is it you and your team do here?
The first thing is obviously make sure the tanks are nice and clean for the public, so everything from cleaning the windows, the rock work, the sand, all that sort of thing. We obviously have to feed the fish every day, checking the water quality, so we have to do water chemistry analysis to make sure the water is fit for the fish to live in. We have tanks behind the scenes as well, whereas if new animals come in, we have to quarantine them for a certain period of time. It's very, very varied really. The breeding programs which we do behind the scenes, there's a team of 4 of us that work full time on it.